Hello and welcome to this new tutorial about Emgu CV. Today we are going to learn edge detection and how we can display the results using Windows Forms application. Particularly, I will be discussing Sobel Laplacian and Canny edge detection methods in Emgu CV. So let's create an application in Visual Studios. I have already opened Visual Studio's Windows Forms application. If you want to check the configuration and how to open a project in Visual Studios, you can check one of my previous tutorials. So right click on the project. I'm going to add a new item, and this is Windows Forms application. I just call it Home. What I want to do is that I want to let the user select an image, display it, and provide him a number of menu options to create different edge detection, select edge detection algorithms. To do that, I just want to drag and drop a menu item and create few menu elements. Just I want a file, then open menu item so that he can or she can open an image file, and just an exit menu to click it and close the application. And for the edge detection, I want to implement few menu items as well. I call it the Canny for Canny edge detection. When he clicks on Sobel, it will perform Sobel edge detection, and when clicks on Laplacian, we will perform Laplacian edge detection algorithms. And we would like to display the results here in this Windows Forms application using an image box. So drag and drop an image box and display it like this, or maybe we can dock it so that we don't need to worry about the size of this control. The first thing that we want to do is to open an image. So to open an image, double click on this menu, and do not forget to mention emgucv.cv and emg using emgucv.cv.structure elements, because these are the basic things that define the structures of the Emgucv. So I want to define a BGR image with depth of byte, and I just call it img input. And what I want to do here is I want to open a file dialog, open file dialog, OFD, and I create an object for this open file dialog, and I want to make sure that when I show the dialog and the user has selected an image and clicked on OK, otherwise I will not do anything. And once the user clicks OK, now it's time to read the image, and for reading the image I'm using the constructor of the image object and pass the file name that user has selected, and click OK. And I want to display that one in my image box 1. So image box 1 dot image is equal to underscore image input. Just to check everything is going right, let me click on start and check the output. Go to file, open a file. So let me say I select this image, and it is working perfectly. It's okay. Now what I want to do is let me finish. For exit, just I want to say this dot close, that's it. Or maybe you can optionally ask the user a message box, are you sure you want to close it? Are you sure you want to close? Ask him, and this is the caption, system message. And maybe you can also provide message button dot yes no. If he says, if this is equal to dialog result dot yes and then we can say this dot close. When he clicks on the Canny edge, I want to find the Canny edge of this image. For the Canny edge to be detected, we need basically a grayscale image. So the first thing that we need to do is to create a grayscale image. So we can create a gray image of type byte. It should be float, I guess, because the Canny returns, we will see that the Canny method returns a float variable for a gray image. So I just call it img Canny, Canny is equal to new Canny image, and the size of this is the width and height, and I want to initialize it with 0 values, so that I am just creating a blank image. Sorry, this is img input, because we are just creating this image. What I'm doing here is, just let me show you what I'm doing here. I am creating an image of gray and a depth float of width is that of the input image, height of is the input image, and I put every pixel to 0 values. And the next that I want to do is that img Canny is equal to underscore img input dot apply Canny, and now you can see that we need 2 parameters for this Canny. You can provide the minimum threshold, let me say 50, and I want the edge linking to be 20. No, it is returning byte, so it is now clear. If it is returning byte, then so I just put it byte, and I want to show the results. Image box 1 dot image is equals to underscore img Canny. But I think I should have done one more thing. If the input image is null, equals null, that user did not select any image and just clicked on the Canny, I will return the user. So let's hit run, but before run, let's implement for this Sobel. Let's make use of the copy and paste magic into it. And what I want to do first is to convert this call it a grayscale Sobel, and I want to convert this image into gray image, img gray. I want to convert this img input dot convert into gray, and its color depth is in bytes. It doesn't matter. I forgot to mention one thing like this, and here we go. And I want to perform the operation on this converted gray image, and now I want this Sobel operation, and this x, we want the derivatives to be in x direction, in y direction, and the purchase size is 3. Yes, and I want to copy this names in both places. And remember, this Sobel basically returns a float image. So what I need to do is to create a float image to contain the results for the Sobel edge detection, and that's it. So what I did, I just converted this input image into a gray image, and I created a blank image of the same size as the input image, and then I converted the Sobel on this grayscale image and assign it to Emgu CV, and then I assigned this Sobel edge detected into this Emgu Sobel. And the last thing that we want to perform the Laplacian on this, I also again use the copy and paste magic. Everything is fine. Just for the convention, I use Laplacian everywhere just to make sure that we are creating the desired ones, and then I apply the Laplace on it. Laplace is very straightforward. It is expecting the aperture size, that for example you want 3 value, indicating a 3. It indicates that we are using a window of size 3. Let's hit start and check the results. File, open an image, RGB image I have. This is the input image. I want to see the Canny edge, Sobel edge, Laplacian. So you see the results for 3 edge detection. It's quite straightforward and easy. One more thing, if you want to check different values for the edge, Sobel and Laplacian with different parameters, we can do that. For example, here we have assigned a specific value, let's say 3, but if I want to check 7, I need to go and change the code and see the results from here. So instead of doing that, since we are using the Windows Forms application programming, so there is some difference. You can see earlier the results were different. So we can create a different form and then allow the user to change the values and see the effects in it. So let me go and create a simple form. This is just for, I will be creating for the Canny edge detection, in which we are expecting 2 parameters. If you see, the threshold value and thresh linking is required. So to set those values, I'm going to create a Windows form and I call it Canny parameters. And what I want to do is I allow the user to select the parameter values and apply it on the Canny edge. What I want to do here is I'm looking for a container, just for the sake of some formality, you can say. I just call it Canny, and here drag and drop some 2 labels and name this label to say threshold. So let me rename this one to threshold link, and drag and drop 2 numeric up and down buttons. One is for threshold and a copy and a paste for the threshold link, and just let me numeric threshold, and its minimum value that I want to set is 0. It's okay, and the maximum is 255, and if we want to increment it by 1, it's okay. And the next one is numeric threshold link. We also increment it by 1, and then let's say its maximum value is also 255. It doesn't matter, it's for just testing. And also drag and drop 2 buttons and simply give them names. This button just I call apply, and this button is for cancel. The cancel button is very simple. I want to close it as it is clicked, and for the apply button, just I want to make some change in this home button. Instead of applying this Canny inside this, I want to create a public void apply Canny function. In a moment it will be clear why I am doing this. And for the local Canny operation from the form, I would like to call this function as well. And from here I want to create a Canny parameter, Canny parameters, and inside this Canny parameters I would like to create the object of and this form in which I want to set the parameters. And what I want from this form, when I click the apply button, I want to apply it on the form 1, call the function of in the form 1 object, this home form object, cut. What I want to do is when I click on apply, I want to call a function that is this just we created this function apply Canny, because this is it is a public function, can be accessed from outside, and then show the cut. What I want to do when I click and apply on this Canny parameter form, I want to call this function which is present in home form. So what I need to do is when I'm calling this Canny parameters, I want to create a Canny parameters object, but I want to pass the object of this form so that we can call the function of this object. So to do that, I'm going to create a constructor with the parameter called home and hm. I just call it. I need to create a public variable, not a public for this class. I want to create a home underscore home, and I want to assign this passed home object into my underscore home object. And then in the click button, if I check if underscore home is not equals to null, then I can call the function of the home dot apply Canny. Now apply Canny does not take any parameter, but I want to update this function so that it should be able to take some parameters, and those parameters will be, the first thing is let me show you here, it is a double thresh and a double thresh linking. I just call it double thresh, and by default I'm setting it to 50.0, and another double thresh link, and I also assigned it to, for example, 20.0. So it doesn't matter how you call it, with or without parameter, it doesn't matter. From here I want to call this, I think it was numeric threshold dot value, and sorry, dot value, and this value is in decimal, so I need to cast it into a double in order to for my Canny function to accept a double parameter. And another one is numeric link dot value, and I also need to convert it into double so that I can see it in my can call my Canny function. That's it for this function. And what we need to do is that whenever I click the Canny parameters, I just create it and I pass this object and then cp dot start position. Let me say that it is form start position dot center parent. Okay, and then I just create dot show. Let's see the results by executing this file. Open it, and RGB, that's it, and Canny, and I want to Canny parameters, and 100. Oop, oop, oop. It is not applying. Let me check what is the problem. Straight away go into this Canny. I should have changed these values. These are still constant. You can say this is the thresh value and this is the default value. Let's see the effects straight away. And one more thing that I should do, that the 0 0 parameter is not very much suitable, and I just want to say it is 50 and this one is 20. Let's check it. File, open, 100 RGB edge Canny and Canny parameters. So apply the same, let's say 200, yes, 0, and if it is 100, okay, that's the effect. So what we have two different forms, and when we click on apply, it calls the function of this home parameter and it changes the output. So that's it, and you can do the same for the other functions as well if you want to do that. Just I have given you the basic idea on how we can perform edge detection using Emgu CV and a Windows Forms application. See you in the next video.